Hey students, today we are going to talk about binding. Binding, what do you mean by binding? Binding is an association between two things, such as a name and the thing it names. So, binding is an association between two things, name and the thing it names. The scope of binding is the part of the program in which the binding is active. When we tell binding, the scope of a binding means in which the part of the program in which binding is active. So another topic is binding time. What is binding time? Binding time is the point at which the binding is created. The different times at which decisions may be bound. The first one is language design time. In most languages, the control flow constructs, the set of primitive data types, constructors, and many other aspects of language semantics are chosen when the language is designed. So that time is language design time. The second is language implementation time. Most of the language manuals provides the issues to the language implementer that includes the number of bits required for each data type, stack and heap organization, handling of runtime exceptions, etc. So that is language implementation time. Then third one is program writing time. The programmers choose algorithms, data structures and names to write a program. The fourth time is compile time. Compilers choose the mapping of high-level constructs to machine code. So, the time binding occurs in compile time. So, the next one is link time. The compilers compiles different modules of a program at different times and are joined together by a linker. When a name in one module refers to an object in another module, the binding between the two is done during link time. The sixth one is load time. It is the load time refers to the point at which the operating system loads the program into memory so that it can run. In primitive operating systems, the choice of machine address for objects within the program was not finalized until load time. The seventh time is runtime. Runtime. In runtime covers the entire span from the beginning to the end of execution of a program. Bindings of values to variables occur at runtime. So it includes program startup time, module entry time, elaboration time, procedure entry time, block entry time, statement execution time. This all comes under runtime. So these are the different times at which the decisions may be bound. Students, please remember, these are the 7 points: language design time, language implementation time, program writing time, compile time, link time, load time, run time. In this, there are two terms, static and dynamic. So, the static means it is used to refer to things bound before runtime. And dynamic means it is referred to things bound at runtime. So you remember these two terms, static and dynamic. Static means bounding things before runtime, and dynamic at bounding things at runtime. It is difficult to overstate the importance of binding times in the design and implementation of programming languages. So in binding, there are if early binding times are associated with greater efficiency. Thus, if a language in a language if there is early binding time, it means that it is of greater efficiency. There are later binding times. It is associated with greater flexibility. If you tell binding time is later, then it means that greater flexibility. Then these compiled languages tend to have early binding times, and interpreted languages tend to have later binding times. So, I will come with the next topic, lifetime and storage management, in next class. Till then, bye.